Hi guys.
Hello.
Yeah, we for people to join, guys.
Oh, they're not there.
Gotta say what's going on.
Oh, we have to let Kyla in. Hi guys. Oh, tell her that I'm going to request her.
Okay.
I'm gonna add Kyla.
Turn this way.
Okay, she can see us. I think. Okay. Oh, come on. Oh,
I'm sorry, did I hit you?
Hey, kids. We don't have nobody here. It's our own fault.
Look, like I gave y'all 15 minutes. That's it.
Gave y'all 15.
15. Y'all so cute. Thank you.
What,
You cute too, girl.
what are
Yes,
we
you are. Drinking over there? Girl, this peach, what I got? Pineapple?
Pineapple, Moscato.
What we had last time? That was so delicious.
Oh,
I'm missing it. In there, so it's a little bit better.
South Road.
Yes.
37.
Let's see. Hey, Talia. I see Talia in there. Look like that's my twin.
Oh, hey, Toya.
Hi, Talia.
Make sure you turn down your volume on
yep.
your phone so there's not echo because I can hear
Oh,
myself.
you know what? Yeah, I need to actually look at my volume. Can y'all hear me good?
Yes. So good.
Man, y'all can't even see the shoes. Hey, okay.
Well, say something then.
Hi.
I was talking to somebody.
Oh, oh, somebody's in the room.
Say hello. Say
What?
hello.
Hi.
Hi.
I can't.
I can see it. Let me
Slary, Slary, Slay.
Slary walk. Oh, that's right. You're from church.
Hey, Sharon. So glad you joined, girl.
Hi, ladies.
So who all we got in the room, guys?
So it looks like we have. Let me pull it up.
Like we have, I don't know if that's my mom or my sister, but they're probably both of them together.
Okay, well, we love them both.
Hi,
Yep, we
Mom.
got mom on there. Hi, mom.
Hi, Mom. Hi,
I
Twin.
don't see twin yet, but
Twin is with Mom.
wait, twin is and mom's yeah. Hey guys. Hey gals.
Yeah.
You in? Yes, I am.
And I am proud to say that my girls was on time today.
Oh
We
my
were.
God. I was the first one here.
I was like, Rachel.
I was the first one here.
Rachel was here waiting. She was waiting.
I was 1 minute.
I was so proud of myself. And you were on time too, Court.
I was. I was.
2 minutes before the time.
It was 1:30 and we were here. How many people
It
do we
was
have in the room?
12:51. We have 7.
Okay, let's hear who's new.
All right, what's up, Miss Toya?
Hey,
We
Toy.
got Miss Bridget. How you doing? Sharon.
Oh, that's my sister.
Hi, sister.
Hi, sister.
Miss Sharon. We got mom, Kylie's mom. We have Blaine's.
That's
My
Grace.
husband. Hi, hubby.
Hey.
Thanks for joining, hubby. You're
And
so sweet.
Bridget and April is coming out the room. She's here.
Hey, hubby.
Huh? And April, Bridget is on our live. Okay, guys, so we have enough people to get this party started because I don't want to hold you up on this beautiful Saturday because it's gorgeous in Dallas, let me tell you.
Yes, it is.
So we are, let's be real, not right. Y'all will notice we are 3 on screen, but my girl Kyla is on vacation and still joined in because she's the bomb like that. And everybody was on time. So we apologize for the tardiness, but we had some technical problems and but here we are. So we're going to give you the rundown of how we're going to do the order. And before we get started, there is a disclaimer that I would like to say. We are going to talk about some sensitive topics. We would like for everybody's grace and respect to all those parties involved. I am a victim of domestic violence as well as a victim of sexual abuse. So we will trot these topics very carefully. We ask that you do the same. And having said that, let's be real, not right is not an advocate for violence, domestic violence, sexual abuse, or any type of bullying. We are not for that. We are here to present All sides, all perspectives, and everybody's views will be respected. So we ask that everybody here do the same. So the rundown is going to be Shannon Sharp is first. Second will be Shedeur Sanders. Third will be Karmelo Anthony. And last but not least, we will talk about P. Diddy's case because that is very sensitive. So I need for y'all to help me with the time. I at least want to leave 10 minutes at least to talk about Puff Daddy.
Okay.
Okay. So we're gonna rock it off with Shannon Sharp first because he's low hanging fruit, honestly.
Yeah.
But Ray didn't even want to discuss Shannon Sharp, to be honest.
I really didn't. At all.
Ray was like, yeah. So here's
Because I really think he's a sellout, but go ahead.
okay. Well, that's what she said. Shannon Sharp, here are the facts. We're gonna present the facts. We're gonna give our perspective. Shannon Sharp was, he has Club Shay Shay, ex NFL player, Club Shay Shay podcast, doing excellent. He was presented an offer for $100 million. Days later, he was sued for $50 million.
Shut the front door.
Yeah, yeah. Days later, he was sued for $50 million for rape.
Golly.
And these are more facts. Shannon Sharp is 56 years old. This young lady that is accusing him of rape was 19 years old when they met at the gym. So he was 54 then, she was 19. Yeah. They carried on what she thought to be a relationship. Okay?
Look, can I stop you right there real quick? Okay. So what do you find? What does a 54-year-old find in a 19-year-old? Like,
and vice versa.
I'm just stuck right there. Yeah, I mean,
like that's your daddy.
Yeah, and she's a baby, so I give her a little bit of grace because you're not fully capable of actually knowing exactly what you're doing or what you're actually getting into. But for a grown man, I feel like it was his duty to even help her,
right?
In the aspect of saying, no, you know what? I'm way too old for you. You're way too young. You should be in school. You should be doing this. You should be doing that. That was a great opportunity for him to kind of school her on some things. So I'm really disappointed in him.
Well, here are some more facts. He allegedly tried to talk to her multiple times at the gym.
Oh, so it was kind of like I'm forcing myself on type deal.
I wouldn't say forcing, but it was the cat and mouse game that you would play with somebody that's your own age. Is what I would say. Okay. Yeah. That's the cat and mouse game that you play with somebody that's your own age. So a couple times he tried to talk to her. They were playing the cat and mouse. She gave in. She gave him the digits. They started dating, a 2-year thing. Then his audio of him having sex of his live was aired while he was dating her.
Oh, with somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. I'm just catching up as well, ladies.
That went live. Okay. So she found out, allegedly, she was upset. Then comes the $100 million offer. Then comes the lawsuit.
It's all kind of.
And before we get to opinions, I want to ask all of y'all something. Does this sound familiar?
Yes.
Kyla, tell me how it sounds familiar.
Thank you, Kyla.
Look, I don't have the examples, but I feel like when Mad Day comes, this is what happens with all of them. Every last one of these high profile men with money who date these, whatever. I don't want to call them low profile, but when you date someone without money and then Mad Day comes, they want a payday. So I feel like that happens all the time.
Yeah. But I also feel like it happens a lot with the other race, though, where when our black men, I'm just gonna put it out there because you know how I am anyway. When a black man go to the other side, I feel like it's more of that where, where it's a target. Then they're targeted. And and it happens a lot. Yeah. It happens a lot. It brings me to a point of why do you keep doing that? And it's crazy to me that you go. I hear about more of it from the other race. I just do. I rarely hear about a black young girl or black woman doing this to a black celebrity or a man with status, a black man with status, some type of status.
It's definitely less rare, but we can't forget about Desiree Washington and Mike Tyson now.
What was that?
That's the one that Mike Tyson went to prison for rape because she came to his hotel room at 2 a.m. in the morning and said she wasn't expecting to get busy.
What you expected 2 a.m. at a hotel? Like, what was you expecting?
Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant.
I mean, he
rest in peace. Rest in peace. Same situation.
But and that's
the other race.
I mean, okay, there's some out there here and there, but
no,
consistent.
Kobe was another race. To your point,
yeah.
Kobe his rape was another race.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I don't understand that part of it.
And Toya, she makes a good point because I was about to say the same thing. She said that's a money grab, but I don't feel bad for him because he should have known better and he hates black women. And then Miss Sharon says, yes, Bill Belichick has a very young girlfriend. And I think
and they are 50 years apart.
And that's my thing. I closed the line. I'm sorry. So as being like Sheree's point, if you being a grown man, you know better. Two, with these women, I believe a lot of the times it is a money grab to Toya's point because think about it. You're not messing with no broke man screaming rape. Not you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. You don't hear that.
Somebody that's working at the Walmart.
Exactly. So and again, if this happened, again, I'm not saying whether it did or it didn't because things do happen. But as soon as that 100 mil get notified, you all over it. Why did it take this long to come out? Why did it take for an amount of money to bring this out? If this was truly something that was on your heart, on your soul, and really taken away from you, you would have been spoke up. But in my opinion,
right? But we also have to talk about the character of Shannon Sharp.
Oh.
If anybody called me, dial my number with the tone that young lady had, she sounded a little slow and he sounded a little slow too.
Yeah.
She sounded like, well, no, I don't want to be, what didn't she want to be?
She didn't want to be hit or something.
No, well, I didn't want to be choked, so I guess I would. If anybody starts sounding that stupid to me, I'm hanging up the phone. I'm automatically knowing you own something.
Yeah.
And that told me he was either a little slow or he was drunk off that yak that he oftentimes brags about drinking. One of the two. Because at that point, you should have said, hey, look here, I'm going to let you go.
Yeah. And also, I don't think he felt that she was smart enough, you know.
Which is why he's
exactly.
Let's be clear.
To pull a stunt like this, which I don't understand why. I mean, again, this keeps happening over and over and over. So then I question your ability to know exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
Like, are you competent enough to know who you're dealing with? Are you competent enough to know that people are going to be after your money? Just like Monique told him, that Lito,
you got a big girl, old girl, somebody go cook for you.
Like, what are you doing?
Monique told him, Ocho Cinco told him.
Because they all been through it. They've all seen people who've experienced it. They know they're talking from experience. They're not just talking from out the side of their neck. You know?
Exactly. Yes, Milas, my sister. Hey, girl. She played the game and Shannon fell for it. Cash her out. Ooh. Exactly. Yeah. Cash her out. You sure right. Because if you foolish enough to play the game like that, you lost. So cash her out.
You want to play?
And then too, I think as well with the back to the money grab thing, if you dangling money over some little girl head, and no disrespect when I say little girl, but you dangling that over her head, of course you're gonna come back for that kid. Come on now.
Exactly.
She's back.
Sharon says yes, but he did offer 10 million before she went public, asking for 50 million. See, and there we go. See, now before she went public, he was already willing to give her 10 million.
That's wild.
Come on now. He was already and so then, and don't get it twisted, she got people in her ear as well. She probably got mommy, daddy, whoever, uncle, all that, because I'm sure she got some connections too on her end to let her know. Oh no. If he's going to give you that, then you could definitely get way more.
Exactly.
You're selling yourself short.
Yeah, that's
so they know how to play the game.
That's what Master P said when they tried to buy his album.
Exactly.
For $1 million.
I am Kayla mom said good for his. That's you sure right. Good for him. Yeah, maybe you'll learn something.
Kyla, you want to chime in?
Look, I'm over here upset that I can't see the comments. I can't see none of the comments.
See the comments?
No, but But what I was gonna say is, I heard, didn't he ask her to sign an NDA and she said no, she refused, and he still dated? Like, to me, the moment when she said no, if that's your boundaries,
Right.
NDA, that should have been a cutoff.
Yeah, and that was a telltale sign right there. If she is telling you no, that she's not signing an NDA, a non-disclosure form, if anybody don't know that, but if she's saying that, then that is giving you everything you need to know to say, oh, well, this could really be a setup.
Yeah.
For real.
This could really be a downfall if I let this go. Like, who's crazy enough with the status that you have to allow that to happen?
Agreed.
That's ridiculous.
And the fact that he didn't have people around him, because I think we all can be tempted with the things that we love. Obviously, he loved young ditzy girls. Okay,
He perverted. He loves to be perverted.
he's
He's nasty, and that's what I gather from him.
Right.
It ain't even about love. It's just about what. Yeah, it comes down to what the stuff you want to experience with these young girls.
Yeah,
You want them to do X, Y, and Z, and yeah, they're probably more prone to doing whatever it is you asking them to do. So yeah, to me, you're just coming off real nasty and trifling.
Well, not only nasty and trifling, because nasty and trifling is definitely what it was. Because he,
Child.
in her rape allegations, she said that he forcefully had anal sex with her twice. So
See, that's what I'm talking about.
He was definitely over the perversion, right? But in addition to that, he couldn't play this game with a mature, level-headed,
Exactly.
mentally stable Black woman. That wouldn't happen. He couldn't play that game.
He's a predator, basically.
So he targeted and he wanted somebody that he could play with, and he went to the circus and he got clowned.
Yeah.
End of Shannon Sharp. You went to the circus and you got clowned.
And as Kayla Mama said, cash her out.
Cash her out, Shannon. We sure hate this for you, but well, no, we don't hate this for you. We want you to learn this lesson.
Exactly.
We want you to learn this.
But I'm afraid, do you think that he actually will learn? Because I think when people are accustomed to living a certain way and doing certain things, I still don't think that, because for some reason they think they're smarter than the next person.
They think,
They think because their money is so big,
and
they got such status. They can play this game with the right person and win.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's gonna learn. Cause I mean, we just warming up.
Exactly, sis.
Somebody else that ain't learn.
Oh yeah, we warming up because we gonna work our way down to somebody that ain't gonna learn, ain't trying to learn. Second is going to be Shedeur Sanders. So let's keep in mind this too is somebody's son. In case y'all have anything negative to say about who I still consider to be a child. So I don't know if y'all know, but my brother, I don't know if he's here, if he's on the live, but he sent me a tweet by Deion Sanders, and I'm paraphrasing here, but years ago, Deion Sanders made a tweet, and he said he would never tell any quarterback to go play for the Cleveland Browns. And here we are. So is it not known? These are facts that I'm about to state here. There are 0 Black owners in the NFL.
That is correct.
Correct? So do you not think that it was not as simple as a phone call for them to have a owners meeting and agree that Shedeur Sanders was only going to be open the door to the Cleveland Browns?
And really quick, if you don't know who Shedeur Sanders is, he is Deion Sanders' son, a football player. He was playing for Colorado this past 2 seasons, I believe. College football. And so he went into the NFL draft. What happened in the NFL draft, everybody was thinking he was going to be drafted first or second. He actually did not get drafted until fifth round, and I think 154th pick, if I'm not mistaken. So that is like the backstory to
Shedeur Sanders.
So go ahead.
Thank you so much, Courtney. Yes, so Deion Sanders put that out years ago. It is my belief, my opinion, that those owners bond together, because Deion Sanders is loud and in your face, and I think he has a right to be.
Absolutely.
I don't have a problem with his pride. I actually love it, and I love to see it. And I think they bonded together to teach him a lesson, to basically say, simmer down, little boy. And I do think they called him boy in the Nigga kind of way.
Of course.
Coco?
So I have just a slightly different perspective. I'm here for having pride in who you are and all that stuff. I do think sometimes Dion took it a little bit too far, but that's just my opinion. Regarding his son Shedeur, amazing player. Unfortunately, what this situation reminds me of the Bible's verse about the sins of our father. So a lot of the time, or so basically, the sins that we do as parents, as fathers and mothers, our children are going to have to reap what comes with that. So that was my mind frame. And like you said, they were kind of showing it or giving it to Dion, like, I know this is what you said, I know this is what everybody thinks, and everybody thinks y'all gonna be so amazing, but we not having that. So it was kind of, in my perspective, it was like a reminder as a mother and as my husband as a father, we have to be cognizant of what we're doing. We have to be cognizant of the seeds that we're planting, because you think about it, that tweet was a seed that he planted, and now everything he said wasn't going to happen is now happening. So it is very unfortunate that it did happen to Shedeur, because like I said, a great player. His character I still think needs a little work, because it is going after, like, his father is very loud and boisterous and things like that. So yeah, that was kind of what I got from it, just being cognizant as parents of the seeds that we're planting, because our children are going to be the ones to reap it. So again, hate it for Shedeur, but I think still he can rise from this. He's still a great player. He's still, if he takes that time to continue building and molding his character, he'll get to where he's supposed to be. There are a lot of people that started off with the Browns who suck, but look at them now. They're different places, so there's still hope.
Right.
There is still hope. However, I feel as though they're intimidated by his voice. Okay. And I'm just gonna put it out there like that. When you have a voice and you have a strong voice, that's looked at sometimes as being too much. Okay.
Yep.
No, it's not too much. It's his character. That is how he speaks.
That's how he was
He
raised.
is passionate. Yes, he is passionate about what he's saying. And what makes him anything less than an expert or too much, just because of the way he says whatever it is that he feels.
Yeah.
And I think that's it. That's just it. They are afraid of the voice. Okay. And we know that Deion Sanders is not, he's not taking no mess. He gonna tell you how he feel, even if he's wrong about it. He may come off as being whatever to them, but he's gonna tell you how he feels. There's nothing wrong with that. And I feel like that can be very intimidating for someone that has not yet learned how to use their voice. Okay. And so it shouldn't be looked at as something that's just, oh, he's over the top. It's just who he is as a person. He's very passionate about that. And I feel like they did Shedeur like this on purpose. They tried to shut him down. They tried to kill his character. They tried it. They did. And it was very unfortunate. I was very upset behind that, because I knew, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that they were trying to kill his character. I knew that's what they were trying to do. And so, and that, to me, that's all it is. The voice.
Okay.
The voice. If we can shut you up.
Yeah.
And that's what the enemy is always mad about. He knows, okay, she said this. Words are, and listen, words are everything. You could do any, when you speak something, that's power. That's how the whole world was formed, by the words of Jesus Christ.
That's right.
He spoke and it was.
Yeah.
Words are powerful. And then don't have no passion behind it. Oh yeah.
You too much.
You way too much. You way too overly.
So we got,
I love it.
Okay. So Miss Sharon, and she says Shedeur didn't do well in the workouts, and I feel stood on his dad's name instead of being humble. Character goes a long way, so regrouping and putting in the work will bring him forth. And I agree 100%, because if y'all watch football and know anything about it, when Dion came in and took over the team, everybody who was on the team and everybody who was lined up to be on the team, he X'd all of them out. He brought in all his own people and all that stuff, and the season was trash. Both seasons, unfortunately. And so Shedeur, he didn't, I don't think he performed as well as he could have. So to your point, Miss Sharon, I fully agree. He's going on his daddy's
Now,
name.
not all his seasons were trash.
No, when he Colorado.
No, but his last season at Colorado was not trash. They had a great record.
Colorado?
Yes.
They
they had a
And
great
say he didn't perform well, and he may have. But my point is that although he may not, but what they were trying to do to him.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
What I saw was, and he might not have been the greatest. He might not have been as good as they thought he should have been. But I also feel that the way that they targeted him to kill his character and his voice, that was unnecessary.
And to Miss Kyla's mom's point, I'm sorry, I don't know your name, but you're gorgeous. So of course they wanted to humble Dion, humble. Archie Manning was just as fatherly with his sons, and we saw nothing of the sort. They were considered NFL
Eli,
royalty.
that's right.
Yeah.
Eli and his brother. That's true.
Yeah. So
Kyla, Shedeur.
Listen, I don't think there's a blueprint to people's personality. I think people can have whatever personality they want. I'm tired of us having to conform to the norm. I'm good with him, his daddy. They're both. I think there's a place for the boldness. There's a place for humble. There's a place for it all. And I'm so happy they have the money that they don't have to conform. I have to conform because I work in a place where I'm dependent on a check to where I have to conform. They don't have to conform, and that's fine. I think that's freedom. So I'm good. They can keep it loud, confident, boldness, and all of that. I think what they are showing is that we can say what we want, be how we want. We don't have to conform to this certain world, and we're going to do us. And no matter where the chips fall, where they're made, it does not matter because they are not dependent on anyone's paycheck.
Yeah.
That's
Miss
good.
Mila, she says confidence and humility, they should coexist.
That's right.
Yeah,
I agree.
I personally think that given, especially in corporate America, which is where I see it at daily, you walk into an environment that is automatically there to suppress everything you are. So I think for a black man to be loud and proud, it takes a lot. That tells me that he went through something for him to be that way. That tells me that he is fighting something and pushing it down and using that to stand himself up. Sometimes we have to be overly whatever, overly dressed, overly happy, overly smart, overly articulate, simply because we have been pressed down in those areas.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to wake up on a 10 because you know you're going to walk into some situations going to bring you down to a 6. So if you come in at a 5, then you're down to a 1 by the time the world is done with you. So I think black boy joy, black girl joy has to exist because there are too many things in this world meant to suppress us. I think he has to be.
And I love that. I love what you said, Jen, too. And it's true because when I think about our black men and the fact that they are so like when it comes to speaking up for themselves, they fall back, and I can't stand it. Okay, please have a voice. Please know who you are. Please don't be afraid to speak out loud. If that's how you feel and you are passionate about how you feel, then please say that. Don't let anybody make you feel less than who you are. Like you said, we have been made to feel like we are not enough. Okay, that is our thing. It's like, oh, so we gotta be extra. We gotta be this because we've always been made to feel that it's just not enough. And so for Dion and his son to be the way that they are, I really do. I love that.
Me too.
I really do. I love that they
hype
have
me up
a voice.
He hypes me up. His texts and posts hype me up in the morning. I kid you not. What else you got?
Then Miss Kyla's mom said, I remember Dion. He was always over the top, and it was fine when he was making them money. And then we have BK Ryder. I believe that's Miss Bridget. They should definitely do them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You have to. And I think this is a good lesson for Shedeur. One, it's gonna make him go harder. It's gonna make him go hard. He's gonna have probably more coaches, more trainers to help him perform. And now he has a father who went through the exact same thing. And he has a dad who's ready to say, don't you coward back. Don't cower back. I didn't have to, and I made it, and you don't either. So
that's why I like that.
We are all for Shedeur. I'm all for Shedeur.
Me too. Team Shedeur.
Do a little bit extra. Is what else is extra. Okay, get y'all last.
That's right, Sharon. Dion has grown. I hear some of his videos, and he has grown tremendously in faith.
Yes. And then Toya says, yes, be humble, but don't let anyone humble you. That's nobody's places but God.
Oh, Toya, that's
right. That's right.
I love that. I love that. I feel that 100%.
What is humble? We can all say, everybody got their different definitions of what humble is. Well, if you just being quiet, oh, she's humble.
Being you fine.
Yeah, then you okay. Oh, yeah, she's just Oh, she's just quiet. She's very humble. You know, yeah, what is the definition of humble for
Yeah,
real?
you don't have to dim your light to make
Absolutely
somebody
not.
else shine.
Right. Absolutely not.
We all can shine. So we're about to slide into something that's a little bit more serious. The topic is definitely based on bullying. I mean, it's clear as mud. I mean, clear as day, because this is not clear as mud. This clear as day. And this is Carmelo Anthony, not the basketball player. We're talking about the young man that went to high school in Frisco, Texas.
Memorial High.
Memorial High. He stabbed and killed a young man from a different school at a track meet. He was arrested for murder, and it was first degree, correct?
Yes.
First degree.
Mm-hmm.
And he is now out on bond. He
you.
has also been granted permission to still graduate this year. So I am grateful for that. Very grateful for it. So let's dig into this, and keeping in mind these are both somebody's sons. So he said, and witnesses said, that he was being bullied. Previously, he had been beat up by the boy that he stabbed at the at the
Track meet.
at the track meet on the day of the killing. He was under a tent, and the Caucasian young man who had beat him up previously was under the tent with him, with his twin brother, and they forced him. Wait, I don't know if they were twins. They might not.
I think they just called
Yeah,
each other.
yeah, they're brothers. And they basically bullied him out of the tent and took his phone and threw it. So his reaction was he stabbed him and killed him. So, Kyla, you had some strong opinions about this, but and so, Kyla's coming back in. So, Courtney, we're gonna start with you while we wait on Kyla, and we might have to send Kyla a request to come back in too.
Okay.
What do you think about this whole Shedeur?
Karmelo.
Oh yes, I'm sorry.
So, in the backstory on Karmelo, Karmelo is a young African American here in Frisco area, and 4.0 student, like just doing great things. So for me, it seemed way out of his character to do something like this. And as a mental health advocate, you guys know I'm a therapist and all that good stuff, and I work with kids, and bullying is such a huge topic. I think when our kids become older, because I've done it with my own child, they'll be like, "Oh, I'm being bullied," and it's like, "You too, go say something to them." But in today's bullying is so different. These kids, they don't let up. They just, it's very different from any of the bullying that we may have experienced back in the day. So for me, I think it's so important, one, that we continue to give our children that space to where they feel comfortable enough to come and share these things. Because him being a young black man, maybe what, 17, I think he's 17 years old, it's hard to share with your parents, like, or I would imagine it's hard to share with your parents, "Oh, I'm being bullied," because in the black community as a whole, we expect our black men from all the baby young ages, don't be showing emotion, don't do this, you got to be hard, toughen up, suck it up. So if I'm not sure if that's what he was hearing, but imagine if that is what he's hearing, how hard it is to share those things. The same thing in these schools, because I know we're at high school and it is majority Caucasian. And when you bring these things up to the administrators, they "Oh, we'll do something about it. We do something about it." And this is coming from a mother who's dealt with the same thing with my child. The administrator, they're not taking it as serious as I believe that they should be. So a lot of the times these kids are speaking up, but nobody's there to help them. So I feel he got to that place where it was like, I have to do something because this has to stop. I don't know where his mental health was or anything of that nature, but I feel like it's all coupled. If somebody's constantly going and going and going and going and going, at some point you're going to hit a breaking point.
Yeah.
At some point. And unfortunately, this was his. I do believe that there could have been interjections from others. People should have listened or done a little bit more. I don't think it would have gotten to this point because I feel he felt alone. He felt that nobody else was there and could help him, that this was the only way out. And that makes me sad.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Well, it's a very sore, it's a touchy topic for me because I am someone that had been bullied in school. Okay, so I really, this when I first learned of this story, it really, really bothered me because I'm coming from the side of being bullied. Okay, and so I know what that looks like. I know that sometimes you can be so scared that you will do something as far as like he did, and I don't think he meant to kill him.
Yeah.
I think that that was just his way of getting him away from him, or that was just his way of saying, "Leave me alone." I do not believe that that young man did that with the intent on killing him. I do not. So the way that they're making him look, it's really sad. But again, this is a picture that they've been painting for our black men for a very long time. So it's not, yes, it's not a surprise or shock to me that this is what he's having to endure. And not only that, is his family that they're having to endure all the backlash behind this, where they're getting threats and all this and that. So that's another way of bullying.
Yeah.
Now they're being bullied. Okay. So it just keeps going on and on and on. And they're trying to excuse that behavior. There's people just upset behind what he did. Again, it's bullying and they're trying to shut them up too.
Yeah.
When they get up to talk and speak about their son, they don't want to hear that. Okay, so that's a way of them. Now they're scared to have these press conferences. Now they're scared to say what's going on and with their son. Now they're scared to stand up for their son because now they're getting these threats. The devil is a lie. I am going to stand up for my kids. Okay, and I'm going to stand up loud and proud. And I believe that's a way of shutting them down.
Yeah.
Get them to be quiet. Don't talk. Let us have our way with this little black boy. Let us put all this slander out there so that guess what? We have painted this picture now for society to deem him as a first degree murderer. He is not a murderer.
Right.
And the further that the story came out, we had people that said at first they said it was a knife, correct?
Yeah.
And they found out it wasn't a knife. So they put that out there. That narrative was wrong. It was not a knife.
Because if it was a knife, then it would have been premeditated.
Yeah. So
what was it?
it was some type of I forgot what they call it, but something that they need for like their cleats or something
Yeah.
like
Clean out your
Yeah.
the spikes.
Yeah.
So it's really sad that this is what it is today. But the bullying is a real thing, and I talk to my kids about that too. And it's happening younger and younger. I talked to my daughter about this. She's only 10, okay? And there's some incidents that have happened at her school too, where I have to let her know, yeah, it is not okay.
Yeah.
And I'm at school all the time. And that's another thing. Parents do have to be present.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm calling. I'm on my way, because what's not going to happen, we're not going to have a situation to where now my child is in a situation that she can't come out of because of what has happened that you've been allowing to go on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to have a voice, especially when it comes to your children. They have to know, hey, I mean business, and we're not going to have X, Y, and Z going on.
Yeah.
Right.
And so, and not to say that his family didn't, because I believe that he came from a good, wholesome family. But again, sometimes, like you said, Court, you don't want to take these things back to your parents. You come to an age where you're like, well, I don't want to seem like I'm weak. I don't want to seem like, I'm a crybaby or anything like this. So I'm at the age now I can defend myself. I can take care of myself. And then you have this situation.
Yeah.
Well, that is something that my mom brought up, and I wish Kyla was on here because Kyla definitely brought a different perspective. But
That's a shame.
my mom, well, she's on here, but she's not her screen is not
I think you have to do it from there.
Oh, do I have to request it? Okay. I'm letting you in, Kyla.
Yeah, and Sharon said Frisco has allowed him to obtain his diploma. However, the dad of Metcalf went to Frisco School District to object to graduation. See, that's what I'm saying.
You got to do all that.
Yeah. So although he gets his diploma, he can't walk. That I don't like that.
Yeah.
But again, so here we go. See, it's a different set of rules for us. Although he can get his diploma, he still can't walk. Well, no, but that's crazy.
With a 4.0, mind you.
Yeah, that's crazy. So still, he's not getting what he's deserved.
And Mila said, these schools mirror society. Sending your kids to a school with minimum representation is crazy, in my opinion. Sharon said Frisco has allowed him to obtain his diploma. However, the dad. Okay, yeah. So you read that.
Yeah.
So one quick point to Miss Mila, and I get it 100%, but I think of it like our parents, they wanted to do better for us. The same way as now we are parents, we want to do better for them. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, I could say, at least being in DFW, Dallas ISD is not the best. It's really not. Like, and this is coming from someone who's, my mom is a teacher and she works at the ISD. Nothing against them, but because they don't have the funds and the all the other things, they're not getting the best education that they could. So sometimes, you know, us living in these quote unquote better neighborhoods and better areas, it's needed, especially in my opinion, especially for my kids and stuff. Uh they're getting an education that they're not going to get in DISD.
Yeah,
That's just, and I graduated from Plano West, so I already know too. Again, that curriculum was very different from what some of my people across the way was learning. So it is very difficult and hard to say those things, but when you're in certain areas of the country, that's just kind of what we have to do. And I think back to Ray's point, that's where we've become that representation. Because me, I'm on the PTA. I'm up there. I'm here. I'm part of it. What are we doing? What dance are we doing? That, and I think that's how we get more of our representation in these school districts that may have the majority of Caucasian children.
Yeah. That's good.
So my mom said that, and I think somebody else said this too, but she said there was something wrong where he couldn't talk to his parents about it before it got that bad. Like, I'm not saying that he should have went crying to his parents like, oh, they fight me, but where is the break in communication that you didn't know that it was so bad that he felt like he needed to kill somebody? So yeah. Go ahead, Ray. I think you wanted to say something.
No, I was just gonna say, I just don't think that that's what he meant to do.
I don't either. I honestly
don't.
don't. Especially even after it happened, he was like, you know, is he gonna be okay? Like, if you meant to do it, you about it. You're not worried about if they're gonna be okay or not. I think it was just he hit that breaking point of, I need this to stop.
Yeah.
And this is unfortunately the only way that he could in that moment feel in control.
That's right.
And that's why too, you know, again, me the therapist, I'm very much so an advocate for getting your children into therapy. And it doesn't mean anything has to be wrong with them, but this is just a safe space to where they can talk. And then of course that relationship with the therapist, if they ever feel like, hey, your child is in danger of hurting themselves or others, or something is happening to them, they're going to share that with you.
Yeah.
But your kids need to have a place. If it's not you, they need to have somewhere that is a safe space to share these things. Because again, I think it could have been helped.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. Well, let me try my girl Kyla one more time, because she was trying and I missed her. Kyla, it's saying that you're unable to join, but I'm still inviting you back.
What's some more of the comments?
Any other comments? We had Mila. She said, I agree with you. I guess we must teach them the real about situations that will arise because they are not well represented. And that's 1,000% true. He was at a predominantly white school. Like, when I went to school in Indiana and even here in Texas, there was always a black teacher or a black counselor. In Indiana, there were people, grown-ups, that knew my parents. So I felt very comfortable if something was going down. I knew I had somewhere to go and say, hey, you need to call these people. You know? So any other comments from anyone? Coco, Ray?
I think I'm good on that one.
I'm just praying for the best for the young man.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Same.
For the best.
Okay. And Mila just said, my son is a teacher in DISD. I know how it can be. I didn't know that DISD has such a bad rap. I didn't know that.
And again, it just sucks because again, of course, they have their stigmatism towards certain areas in Dallas, and they're not being properly funded. It's just, you know, how it is with the low socioeconomic areas in the redlining, all of that. So it's it's unfortunate.
Yeah, and environment is everything too.
100%.
You know, I oftentimes talk to my son about, you know, his surroundings and where he chooses to be. That it takes a lot on the outcome of any situation.
I agree.
So it's just, and if you are around chaos all the time, things are so chaotic, then you kind of take on that, you know, because that's all you have been accustomed to.
Yep.
So yeah, a lot. Yeah,
It's a lot.
Very, very unfortunate. And then my heart goes out to the mother of the accused because now she's already saying that he's having some mental health
I bet.
problems.
For sure.
And then the mother of the deceased, because although she lost her son, but can you imagine she has guilt too, because now the world is looking at how he treated somebody,
Yeah.
because everybody's not saying that he bullied him and nothing happened. So it's very clear that he was doing something. So she doesn't get to only grieve, and grief is heavy enough. We all know that. So to have to grieve your son and then to deal with who he was, who wasn't such a great person.
Because then they start as mothers, we taking on what more could I have done to make sure this didn't happen, or what wasn't I doing? Why wasn't I involved enough? So my heart is definitely very, very heavy for both families in this situation. There's no good or anything to it.
Now the dad, surprisingly, before we hop to my boy Puff, P Diddy, Puffy, Sean, Love, all that. One more thing before we get to him is that did y'all see the news clip when the dad he chastised the Trump supporters who was telling him, because the dad was going to a pep rally or was leaving one, and the Trump supporters were saying, they had on their red hats and they were saying, you need to come over here, we will help you fight this. And basically the Trump supporter was about to start, and he actually wasn't a Trump supporter.
Wait, which dad?
The deceased.
Okay.
The deceased dad. And so when the representative, so he wasn't just a Trump supporter, he was a representative. He came suited up to basically say, you come over here with us. And he was like, no, we don't need that. We don't need any more hate, any more division. I lost my son. Take that somewhere else. I was shocked by that because I was sure this was
When
about.
did this come on?
This happened.
Was this earlier on though?
Yeah.
Because he also said he forgives the young man, but then he also showed that later on he disturbed the press conference. So I'm not really too sure what side he's actually on. It's pretty confusing to me because at one point, like I said in the beginning, he was acting as if, okay, yeah, my son is dead, but I forgive and all this. And then on the other hand, he came out later with the streak of anger. Okay, so I'm not sure where
Think about these steps of grief, though.
I knew you were gonna go.
Yeah,
there.
so
Yep.
so anger is one of them. So that he in that first initial step, he was probably just like, oh my god, like what is this? And then boom, anger is immediately after because you're just angry at everybody and everything. So I don't know where he stands either. Quite frankly, I don't care. But I just, like I said, I think about it from that standpoint. You know, grief gonna take you through some stuff, baby.
Some stages. So I could see the anger, and then like the remorse at first. Yeah. So I can't imagine. I don't have children, but I can't imagine losing any of my bonus kids, or even losing my parents, or even losing like a child that's just my cousin or niece or nephew. I could not imagine it. So
That's right.
that is what it is. So, ladies, and when Kyla can get back in, we are gonna circle back so my girl can say what she needs to say. But
Yes, there's an entire situation. It's unfortunate. Yes, sis, it is. Sharon says, but we're not sure why he came to the conference because he never was allowed to say anything. Yeah, I don't know.
who?
The dad.
Oh,
I don't know what
So was it
about.
the press conference for him or for the
family?
It
So
was
why
for the
was he
family.
there?
Yeah, it was definitely for the family. So we don't know why he was there. So he may be showing forgiveness, but for now, Mr. Metcalf, keep distance since emotions are very high for this. Yeah, because I wouldn't, because that's just gonna go to anger. To, like, there's so many. I 100% agree with you there, because that's a bit much. Like,
because you're still coming from and operating from an unhealed place. You're not gonna heal over your son dying
in
in
days,
a few days, a few
weeks.
It's gonna take some time.
Yeah, it takes me a very long time. So y'all, these last 10 minutes, we're gonna get to your boy
You know me.
Puffy,
Before we proceed.
P. Diddy.
I'm sorry, guys. It's not a funny.
Love, Sean Combs.
That's his whole name?
I mean, those are all of his names. So whatever you want to call him today, in these court documents, he's Sean Combs. So they don't care nothing about that love.
Right. He's Sean to me.
Yeah, he's Sean today. So we've only heard, well, we ain't heard nothing. We've only been able to read or know of Cassie's testimony. Ray, I'll let you start us off while I see if I can get my girl in.
Well, child, yeah, it's so many layers to this, but I'm just gonna say it's it's really overwhelming the amount of testimony that has been given by Cassie. It is truly overwhelming. It is truly like gut wrenching. It is awful. Just to be honest with you, to see. I mean, it was really disgusting to know all the things that were taking place. From what from what she described. I do believe her wholeheartedly. And I just believe that that P. Diddy has come to a point in his life where he just felt like he really was God, and he could do whatever he wanted to do with whoever he wanted to do it with. It didn't matter. And that's and another example. She was young when they first met, right? So he was much older. So just in a place where he is able to take advantage of a situation.
Yeah.
Sound
familiar?
Yeah, for real. So
She was 19 when they met too. Seemed like 19 is around about that age that y'all like them.
yeah.
Because that's a great opportunity to start grooming.
Exactly.
Young ladies. And
Exactly.
we can go into grooming a little bit later, but go ahead, Miss Right.
And so I just feel like, and I know it's a lot of noise out there about, well, she could have just left. Yes, she could have, but there's a lot of women that have stayed for less. Okay, let's just put that out there.
No, be for real, for real.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah, and I'm one of them.
I've stayed in bad
But-
situations for less.
No money was involved.
It's a little soda.
Matter of fact, it was broke.
We gonna keep it 100.
It was in the negative. We are not laughing at the situation, guys.
We laughing at
Listen,
them.
because of the comments, I go to the comments, because I kind of know what y'all talking about.
Yeah.
And the stuff that I'm hearing from these folks that y'all, you just got out of the bed with a broken that's been beating you upside your head.
Working
Let's
at
stop.
the Walmart.
Okay.
Working at the Walmart.
Not even working.
Not even working.
He's in pharmaceutical sales on Saturdays, Sundays, and sometimes Fridays.
Listen, so please stop the foolishness, because if it was that easy, listen,
A lot more people would.
Everybody
would have gone.
grandmother say everybody would.
Because it's more than just a physical aspect of leaving. It's that mental abuse, that mental stronghold, all that stuff that you got to go and talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She on her way again, guys, to time out.
No, because it be the comments for me, y'all. Like,
Never was a fan of Diddy.
yeah, me neither, really.
I gotta be honest, Miss Kyla's not.
Between the knock knees and the
I was a fan. I actually was a fan,
I was
but
so puffed up.
I was a fan, but I have had a few Grinch in the face boyfriends, so I'm not the best judge sometimes. But did y'all know this? So I'm gonna take a turn. Because this is another perspective, and I'll be truthful. This is my perspective. Before this came about, before the Cassie tapes came about, Sean Combs was suing the liquor company that was distributing his daily owned tequila. He accused them of discrimination because they were not marketing him in predominantly white areas. He believed he lost profit sales because of their choice of marketing. After he decided to sue them, do y'all remember when he was trying to start the black marketplace where he was building? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So that was
I heard something about that.
I even got an email from his camp to apply for jobs. Like, he was building like a corporation. He was calling it the black marketplace. So he was basically creating a space for black people to do business in-house. That's what he was trying to do. The next thing we know, here comes the Cassie situation. And let me preface this with saying, I'm not saying that Cassie's lying. I'm not saying that.
Nor that child
Because
line.
what we all know, especially from where I'm from, and I know it's not just from where I'm from, because we can go to Elvis Presley. Priscilla was a teenager when he married her. What I know that what Puff Daddy is doing has been going on for years and years and years. I am a believer that he struck the wrong chord with someone, and here we are when another black man decides that he doesn't want to play the way that they want him to play, and they stop allowing him to do what he's been doing and everybody else has been doing this entire time.
Yeah, because it's different for the black. Girl, that's what we've been talking about this whole time. Our black men, it's different for our black men. They cannot do what the white man does.
Because a lot of the white men do it and get over.
Yeah.
Hugh
They
Hefner.
can't do it.
Hugh Hefner did it in your face. In your face. And did he ever get arrested?
No.
No. So I'm not saying that Puppy should definitely be in trouble for domestic violence.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But Rico and life in prison?
And for killing, because I really do believe he has something to do with Kim Porter's death. I do.
I
As well as Biggie's, as well as Tupac. I really believe that. And so, yes, he's very, like, to me, it's very demonic. P. Diddy is very demonic. He has a wicked spirit. It's clear, you know, and that wicked spirit has no boundaries.
Yeah.
So if you would rape, if you would set up these whatever they call it, freak offs, whatever it is, with young girls and making them do these things, all this hideous, these acts with all these other men, you will go to a level. There's no boundary. So if you would do that, you will kill. Yes, you would. You would do all of that.
That's
All the
what I
above.
said. She said she don't think that he was stopped.
He's not. He has to be stopped. Because Diddy has become bigger than himself, okay? Like I said, he looks at himself as a god. He can do whatever he wants to do. He's the king. He's this. He's that.
Is Diddy the Shannon Sharp movie fast forward?
Yes. Because it starts at,
do you see the connection?
Because I was gonna roll back to that because people are gonna say, well, Cassie asked for money.
Girl, for real.
So that is an example of when you are not stopped, when you continue to get over. Because think about it, when you a kid, if you go in the kitchen and get a cookie, you get caught. I'm gonna do it again. You're gonna keep doing it until you get caught and you get arrested for stealing that cookie.
Yes.
So this is just
what my sister say. Don't stop, won't stop. If I can get up and do the two-step, you sure right.
But that's it. Because think about what did he kept doing it. He kept doing it. He kept getting more money. He can pay people off. You can pay people to shut up. You can do all kind of things. And you get this sense of power to where I'm untouchable. I'm unstoppable. Yes. I can do whatever I want to do, however I want to do it, because I got the means to know me fit in. So if Shannon hadn't gotten stopped early, Shannon probably, and who knows, this is probably not the first time this has happened with Shannon. Of course not. The same thing with Diddy.
And it's actually not. He has, my aunt told me that there was another lawsuit with another woman.
See what I'm saying? And I think too, Cassie, I don't think she just randomly decided, one day she's gonna come out. Well, I was listening to her story and she was saying how she went through trauma therapy, which again, that's what I do, but I do it for kids. But there is this process it's called the trauma narrative, and that's basically where you start telling the story back. You're starting to feel a full understanding of what was going on, what was really happening. And so in that you can write a book, you can do whatever within that time. So that's what she did. She wrote that book, and it's like she's looking back and it's like, damn, it wasn't me. I wasn't out, right. It's not my fault. Right. So she started to understand it, and then when she started to have kids of her own, I honestly believe too, when she became a mother, it was like, I got these kids I gotta take care of.
I get that, and don't get me wrong, I have deep sympathy for Cassie. But we all know there's some money involved, right? We all know
it should be.
As it should be.
Pay me out.
Because he had her under 10 albums that she basically was not gonna get away from him with 10 albums. But
let's one.
Yeah, but let's look at this from her husband's point of view, who was her personal trainer. If you married dude that was a personal trainer. You're gonna compare his bank account to Love, P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, Sean Combs, whatever you want to call him today. And his woman tells him all these horrible things have happened to me. Can you not envision him saying, "Girl, you got me going up to this gym, working out these folks, and you got a billionaire? If you don't write this book and get your money."
Yeah, and I think too because he did his trainer too or something.
I know he was at P. Diddy house because P. Diddy told Cassie he want his money back from paying him.
And see, for me, I'm the one. I don't go looking for bank accounts and money and stuff. Been there, done that, and nothing good has come from it. So now I'm more of looking at the person. So could he have said that? Quite possible.
Yeah.
Do I think he said that? For me, no.
No.
Because
No, you
again,
don't?
no, because that level of trauma that she went through, and especially at a young age, your brain ain't even done being developed.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
your I won't even go to all into the details, but she basically stopped growing from that point. Like you just going with the motions and oh I love you and this and this and oh yes and because we was in the chat the other day. Nicki, she ended up reaching out to Nicki Minaj during the point.
Oh, let's get into that.
And Nicki,
but let's
go ahead and read the comments right quick.
Mila said, "I agree, Ray. Those Armani suits ain't covering nothing up." And Sharon said, "Nothing, Mika." Mila, yeah. And then I am Kyla. Mom said, "I don't care what he was trying to do," and I know she's saying he's trash. And then Sharon said, "What about the people around him who knew the behavior existed but never said anything?" Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then my girl, fashionably chic, Kyla says Shannon is praising God that the attention has moved towards Diddy. You are absolutely right. And Kyla says Shannon has more folks coming out. Yes, he does. And Kyla's mom said they were probably afraid. Too many rumors about missing persons.
Yeah.
With the Diddy trial. Yeah, absolutely. Now finish, Coco.
Oh no, so like I was saying to Miss Sharon's point, about the behavior. Think about it. There's so many times where, and I think we talked about it on one of the episodes of the podcast. Some people you can't even approach them to try and tell them, "Hey, you acted out of character." They too far gone. They're not gonna listen. They're not gonna do anything. And then two, because of the power they saw or thought that he had, they were intimidated by that, and which happens a lot when you think about people with money. You can a lot of people like they said, people do a lot for less.
Exactly.
So if I'm giving you 10K to shut up,
yeah,
some people they gonna take it because think about it. You know, if it was a maid or somebody, it's like this is the only money I got. This is the only job I have. I need to take care of my people. And then of course, if you're like the company that you keep. So the people around him, they doing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And they're being paid well.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So I'm not saying everybody that was around him was
not
doing it.
saying anything is saying you agree.
There you go. There you
exactly.
Because if you watching,
it's what you don't say.
So
and I said that before.
You brought up the point about Nicki. So speak about what she said.
Well, yeah, and let me say something. I really like Nicki is my girl, but then when I seen what I seen, Nicki. Well, it was said that Cassie confided. She didn't have too many people to confide in, but once she confided in Nicki about what was going on and how Diddy was treating her bad and doing all this that, and the response from Nicki was, basically, girl, shut up. You just need to deal with it. Suck it up. Do you know how many people would love to be in your position? You rich and you famous. So basically, fall back. No,
never that.
But again, we're talking about those people over there in that industry.
Yeah.
So I don't doubt that's what was said. I don't doubt that's what she said to her because again, you have been accustomed to that lifestyle.
But that's not an excuse.
It's not. But I see why they're all why they all are in this pack. Okay. You know, so where
Nicki is benefiting from Puffy too. So let's be clear here. But it still goes down to your character, what has been put into you. I have been in situations, and I even had a conversation with someone recently about the way they were being treated. And I said, hey, I walked away from somebody that made a lot of money. I walked away.
Right.
So I don't care how much money you make. I'm not about to put up with disrespect, your foolishness. I would rather go work until 67 and a half when I can collect my retirement and Social Security.
That's right.
Than for me to cash out early and put up with anybody's disrespect.
Exactly.
So there are people that feel like Cassie is money grabbing. She's going to get, she has got her money. That is a possibility. And here is the only reason why that I say I can see that perspective. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I see it. And here is why. Because at the end of the day, when we're dealing with these entertainments, these entertainers with our behavior, we can go back to R. Kelly.
Yeah.
And the parents who allowed it.
Right.
What I will say, it was okay until it wasn't.
Right.
At some point, it was okay. Now, is it ever okay to keep going when a woman says no? That's never okay. Is it okay to ever put your hands on a woman? That's never okay. All I'm saying is that at some point, it was okay for whatever reason. And it could be grooming. It could be because she was young and he promised her all these things. And Shannon Sharp messing with the immature, undeveloped mind.
Right.
But I'm talking about in those situations where we're talking about adults and the R. Kelly parents of the kids. Y'all know what y'all was doing.
Yeah,
absolutely. At some point, these adult women know what they're doing, and it's okay until it's not.
Yeah.
And I think that's true. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and I think that's literally with anything, because it's okay to eat some cookies. Back to my cookies.
Yeah.
Until you on 600-pound life, and it's like you need to stop eating cookies. So yes, you gotta get off them cookies, girl. Clearly, I'm hungry, so forgive me. But I think about it in that sense. Yes, where it may be okay in one moment, like hey, if they had that moment, they agreed, and it's like this is what we're gonna do, and I'm okay with that. But as moment is not okay, that's fine. That is
exactly.
And he should have stopped.
Yeah, but he kept on pressing and pressing, like she said, and making her feel bad about not wanting to do it.
That's
you know,
narcissistic.
Yeah, that's a narcissist. So yeah, and that's funny that you said narcissist because my aunt is a physician assistant, and that was the first word that came out of her mouth about this was narcissism.
100%.
And before I forget, hold on 1 second.
Go ahead.
And I brought up the Nikki conversation too because that's why it's important to have a solid support squad. Okay,
that's good
because
point, right?
yes,
Good point.
because again, when you are doing something that you can't seem to grasp and understand why you keep doing it and why you're allowing yourself to be in a situation that is doing nothing but causing you harm and danger, there should always be someone that you can confide in that can look at you and tell,
And
okay, yeah, we're not gonna do that.
Much.
You are better than this.
Yes.
And should nobody be treating you like this? I don't care how much money this person got. But no, you're not gonna settle for this, and you're not gonna be treated this way.
Exactly.
You need to make sure you have somebody that gonna tell you the truth when you cannot take the truth, when you can't hear it for yourself. You gotta have somebody speaking life into you. You gotta have somebody letting up, reminding you how important you are and how loved you are, and all of that. And if you don't have that, you just got people on the side of you that's pulling too. Because guess what? You got status, so that means I got status too.
Yes.
Or because you in a place, then that's inviting me into that same place, and I get the perks of that. That's not your person. Okay.
Yeah.
Make sure you got a squad
that's gonna check you. That's gonna check you.
Please
and
do.
check you in love,
right?
All that,
with no ulterior motives. Because there are some people that push you a certain way so they can get something,
so that they can benefit from it.
Right.
And your squad, it may just be one person.
Exactly, and that's okay.
Don't get it twisted. I ain't talking about like a numerous people when I say squad.
You don't need all
it could be just one person.
An army of one, and sometimes that's the Lord, and that's okay too.
I
mean, that is awesome. And Kyla brought up a good point. She said, "Let me ask this." Oh, I can hear her saying it. I wish my sister was on camera. She said, "Do we think Diddy getting off?" Y'all blast in the comments. Do y'all think Diddy is getting off of this charge?
And I'll say real quick, if you haven't read the blog on community, make sure you go to our website, LBRNR, let's be real, not right.com, and check out that post on community, because it's just his praise.
Mila said the freak offs were crazy business, much abuse. The beatings alone deserve lockdown.
Yeah.
Come on.
Cassie was in too deep, but came out looking for the brink truck and found it. Mila!
Yes, indeed.
Go, Mila. Go. And then Toya said 100% Jen, preach. And so Kyla's mom said, hell no. He will probably appeal the guilty verdict and prolong this forever.
See that tight.
Well,
and he got money long.
Yeah.
Well, the way that it's looking, right? So we have to remember what he's on trial for. I took a screenshot, but I can't. But but it has nothing
Sex
to
trafficking, RICO, and racketeering.
and transporting of sex trafficking.
Yeah, so sex trafficking across state line, which makes it a federal.
Yeah. So that's what he's on trial for. With Cassie, they're only building a foundation to show a pattern of behavior. Because keep in mind, she's only witness number one. We still got other folks to go.
I think Dawn is a witness too, they said.
Dawn who?
From Danity Camp. What's it, Danity?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
her
I heard
and,
her talk.
and also Nipsey Hussle's Lauren London.
Really?
Her name was brought up too.
Yeah, I don't know if she's a witness.
Yeah, but I don't think she's a witness. But her name, her name was brought up. Was Chris Brown's name brought up too?
His name was brought up too.
Yeah. So, do I think Diddy is going to go to jail? I think that it's going to depend on if he does what these people behind the scenes is telling him to do. That's what I think. Whoever he pissed off, if he makes it right with them and he plays the game that they want him to play, I think he's getting off, because I think that the people behind this no.
I don't think he can off.
I don't either.
They gonna get him for something.
No,
they not doing all the list for him to get off. Because if that was the case, he would have been paid off. Whoever needs to be paid off, but his money ain't good enough now. And because it's in the federal courts, it ain't got nothing to do with state New York or nobody like that. The feds, they know what's there. What they gonna do 10 times out of 10, 9.9 times out of 10, they're gonna get from black ink.
Yeah. So do you think that they have enough for him to go to jail for life?
absolutely.
You know? You do?
Yeah, they do.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guys.
They do.
Because I mean, how much life he got left in?
Well,
Up there.
well, by showing of
By the gray. That's sticking out now.
and that stress is on his face. Baby, he not getting no salmon.
Or what you say, Chris Brown? Now, I know they ain't touched. He better not have touched Chris Brown now. Y'all,
Baby.
Chris Brown is in his own trouble now in London. Yeah, I heard about that too.
Yeah.
Right. No, he didn't touch Chris. Chris was part of the petition.
Right. No, he didn't touch Chris, but I do think because Justin Bieber,
Yeah, he did get touched.
Yeah, I
He
do
got
believe he got touched because he abruptly bowed out most recently and said that he don't have. I was like, okay, you didn't need to
He will be a great witness.
He doesn't want that type of attention.
I think he's damaged.
He's definitely damaged.
I think he's damaged. I think that whatever happened to him damaged him, and that's just what it is.
Think 𝐋𝐈𝐕𝐄.
Yeah, Diddy needs to go. He really
needs to go.
Diddy is done.
He needs to go.
Diddy done did it, as they say.
Yeah. Coming from and then comes from someone that has been abused, sexually abused as a young girl. Diddy gotta go. Okay.
Yeah.
Diddy he's out of there. Okay. Because to take the innocence away from a child, to take the innocence, and there's been things brought up about other children, with him doing things too.
Do you think that he molested a child?
I do. I believe that as well.
You do?
I do. If you will do the heinous things that he's done to Cassie and other people that have put it out there about him, he will do anything. If you will kill, you'll steal. If you steal, you'll take somebody's innocence. You will do all. And when you're operating out of a demonic state,
That's demonic for sure.
nothing is off limits. Okay, nothing. So yeah, he needs to go.
And it's just so wild to me, but I watch all these mental stories and like crime stories and stuff because
Yes,
you got your own kids, fam. But never once in your mind did you think, I wouldn't want nobody doing this to my kids, so let me chill. Or something like, no, you're so used to playing the part.
yeah.
So you play daddy when you at home with your kids and then say, back to being the diddler when I'm not. So that's so disturbing, just all around. That's a girl. Child, that's a whole other life.
Yeah.
Okay?
Right. So we will revisit this Diddy case. We will be back on live in a few weeks. We want to close out by acknowledging that this is Mental Health Awareness Month. And we want everyone here and all the people that check on your people, protect your mental health. But most importantly, everybody that we talk about, they have kids, they have parents. So let's show some love and some grace for them. Pray for them, for all the ones that we know are not mentally there. Pray that they get better judgment skills, i.e. Shannon Sharp. Pray for protection around Shedeur Sanders, that he does not lessen himself from who he's supposed to be because of who's not comfortable with him. We're going to pray for both families, the Metcalf family as well as the Anthony family.
Yeah.
In that case, their mothers, their fathers, their siblings. We also want to pray for that Diddy, Sean Combs, gets some that he seeks God and he gets saved. He gets some help. There is definitely something wrong. We pray that Cassie continues to get the mental help and counseling and faith that she needs and support. She does not need the hip hop community attacking her, because if y'all love Diddy's music, he can create music from behind bars through artificial intelligence, just like his homeboy R. Kelly. They might as well go ahead and put them in together. Also pray for all these people that are afraid to speak up and say what they saw because they're afraid. I just pray that, but I will not say that we are praying that people get what they deserve, because we all deserve something that we receive grace for. I just pray that people get the help that they need and they have a community and they feel loved and that they feel safe.
Yeah, and pray for her husband, because I know this got to be hard.
And her children.
I don't think her marriage is gonna survive this.
That's a whole nother topic.
I don't.
But then too, make sure y'all tapping in with your own emotions and stuff, especially if any of this has
It's almost like, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no! I was just gonna say if any of this has resonated with you or brought up some triggering thoughts and stuff. If you need anything, you can always reach out to me at _Courtney J. We can talk about it, or I can refer you to some amazing counselors and stuff in the area that I may know. We're always here to talk and chat and help be that community if you don't have one. So,
and we're gonna let Ray close us out with her last thought, because I just said that
I don't think Cassie's marriage
that
will make
her marriage is gonna make it, and you said that you do.
Well, I say that I do because I don't think that her husband is surprised at any of this.
Right.
I think that from what I've gathered these few days from Cassie's testimony and how she presents herself, I think she's told him. I think she's told him basically everything that has gone on, so that he wouldn't be blindsided, that he wouldn't be shocked and have that look of disbelief, unbelief, while in a courtroom with everybody else. I really do think that, but it's a totally different thing when you're hearing it out loud in front of people from other people's
and
mouths.
other people hear something about your wife, because keep in mind, men are very prideful.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the reason why Reggie Bush didn't marry Kim Kardashian, because he loved her, but he was getting clowned in the locker room.
Oh yeah.
So Kim Kardashian was good enough to be his girl, but I heard firsthand that he was not gonna have her to be his wife.
Yeah.
So that's a good point, Ray. They could survive it, but this is gonna be heavy.
Right. And it's probably, just like with anybody's marriages, relationships, or anything, you got that tough spot that you sometimes have to go through. And if you're willing to go through it, you can make it as far as you want to go. So,
well, I hope they do.
Me too.
So I don't mean to speak that into existence, but I hope they do.
Yeah, because she needs somebody solid. She really does.
And I think she got somebody who, especially after telling him, hey, you got it with the kid. When she told him how she was about to go commit suicide, he was like, no, you're not doing that.
Yeah, no,
So,
we're not doing that. We got checks to cash.
Okay.
I'm done.
10 million extra, from the hotel.
Yeah.
She just got that. So, girl, yeah, she's
girl, you can't walk out in front of this car, but we gotta get this check. We love y'all, and we gonna be back with the rest of the story. Bye. Let's be real,
Not
right.
Bye, y'all.